Module 1, Understanding Reproductive and Fertility Health at Work. When you think of reproductive and fertility health at work, what comes to mind? Click on the link somewhere around the screen and participate in the poll. We've been asking this of men and women involved in our work over the last 5 months, and we'd like you to get the benefit of taking part in the same exercise, and also from the word cloud, you'll get an appreciation of how others have been responding to the same question. From the work that we've done with obstetricians, gynecologists, professors, and other professionals, we define reproductive and fertility health at work to not just involve fertility, which is so often the case. People tend to think these are synonymous, but in fact, it would include numerous other conditions, such as prostate related conditions, testicular related conditions, as well as menstrual and menopausal challenges. It's important to note that several of these are issues that we might have faced separately, and now we will be putting them comprehensively into the same bracket so that they can be addressed in a powerful strategic method. Some key statistics that we're aware of in this area that will help you to understand why this is a strategic imperative for your business. For example, how many people, say in the United Kingdom, do you think are affected by reproductive and fertility healthcare challenges? The answer is a staggering 2 in 5. That means out of the 33.86 million UK working population, we see that 13.5 million are affected by reproductive and fertility health challenges. This statistics is taken from the Office of National Statistics, PEPI, and We're Eden. 9 out of 10 employees say they will leave your organization if you're not providing reproductive and fertility health at work. This is based on research conducted by the Employee Benefits Research Institute, whereby we see that 83% of employees are saying health at work is very important, and particularly around health insurance. And we understand that actually health insurance, out of 50 private medical policies, none of those currently include reproductive and fertility health at work. What I would want to know in your position as a business leader, board member, exec, or ambitious professional is the fact that also 78% of employees are more loyal to their organization when reproductive and fertility health at work is covered. That's taken from research by Talk Business. So holistically, in terms of the landscape regarding statistics, we start to see that reproductive and fertility health at work is indeed a large topic, but also a topic that is relevant to your workplace and a massive opportunity for yourself to have a positive impact, not only with your person, your department, and your organization, but also to move the dial forward in your industry by making headway in this area of reproductive and fertility health at work. When we look at the key trends regarding reproductive and fertility health at work, for example, we understand that for men, male factor infertility is the highest rising cause of infertility in the UK. This is a commonly known and commonly discussed point by the obstetricians and gynecologist groups. We also know that assisted reproductive healthcare, ART, which does include the very popular in vitro fertilization, IVF, the trend has been going up by 25% in the last decade. So increasingly, this is on an upward hockey stick trend. A dear couple I know recently went through IVF, and the cost of it on average is from £3,000 to £5,000 per cycle, requiring multiple cycles. However, for this couple, they have shared with me and others close with them that it cost over £40,000 for them to now have their beautiful bouncing baby girl. They're fortunate enough to be able to afford it, but what about the numerous other men and women, likely your employees or colleagues, affected by similar issues, and many of them not able to afford £40,000 in order to reach their family ambitions? What we also see is that menopause and menstrual health plays a big part within the reproductive and fertility health at work discussion. What do we mean? 9 out of 10 of women or individuals identifying as female go through the menopause. We also see that around 40% of these go through experiences that affect their workplace performance. For instance, this includes what many call the fog, the menopausal brain fog, which is a combination of several hormonal and neurological factors which cause the memory function to be differently during some phases of the menopause. This is something that's happening physically to these individuals, and it's nothing that they've elected to do by choice. A recent survey also showed that only 20% of employees feel their employers are providing them with adequate support when it comes to reproductive and fertility health at work. All right then, so what's the impact on employers when they're not providing adequate support with these topics? We see that there is a 25% decrease in employee turnover. That is, people you've trained going to work next door and taking all your investment towards your competitors. 25% decrease is significant to your bottom line when you consider it can cost up to 6 times salary to replace an employee. We also see up to a 15% decrease in absenteeism when reproductive and fertility health at work issues are adequately addressed in the workplace. At this point, I would like us to take part in an interactive discussion that allows myself and yourself to come into a consolidated understanding. How are you absorbing this information? What thoughts or reflections has it triggered in you? And what, by your understanding, could be actions you can take today to improve this experience, not only for yourself, but for your colleagues and indeed your company and the wider industry at large? Click on the link on the screen to take you into that reflection questionnaire. Let's find out what you're thinking about the information that has now been made available to you in your groups, at work or at home, wherever you're taking part in this lesson. Make sure to submit your lesson cards completed on the portal available so that we can share with you a related paper as to how others have responded. And indeed, when we hop into lesson 2, we'll start to discuss more about what are the options that we can take going forward.